Hello, I'm Meli for Edu for Java, and this is tutorial number 4 of Android game programming. We're going to talk about sprites. A sprite is an image, 2D image, bitmap, bitmap type, partially transparent, which we normally use to put in a background image. Sprites are normally used in games. There are several sprites in the screen and they can represent characters with artificial intelligence, or they can represent a character which we are controlling. Another characteristic of the sprites is that they have a position XY. The position is where it is. The sprite inside the background screen we've been talking about. X is the horizontal coordinate and Y is the vertical one. They have also a speed X, Y. What does it mean? If this X speed is positive when time passes, this speed will be added to the X position and will move the character to the right. If it's negative, it will be moved to the right. With Y, the same. If Y is positive, the character will go down or up if it's negative. A sprite can contain an own animation. It can change. It can have small images that change, and this is going to look as if they are moving. For example, let's see the BMP for our sprites. In the case of bad 1, we can see that in the first line we have an animation that shows the character walking forward. You see the arms and the legs in a different position. When we print this one first, and then this one, and then this, is going to look as if it's moving forward. This one to the left, this one to the right, and this one upwards. Okay, we're going to see how it works. The question would, how did I get this? I found a website. This is the URL. Very interesting. It's in Japanese. As I'm not very ongoing with Japanese is not my thing. I have a link here with the translation done by Google Translator. Thank you. Here we are. The sprite construction is really good. It gives us a character. Bold with nothing, and we can do whatever we want to it. We can put blonde hair, we can put him pink dress, we can put him also some pink ribbons, and here we have a character that could already be a good one. We could also put some wings and download this image. We can save the image and already use it for the game. We can also make a bad guy. This girl can transform herself into a bad guy if we put a mask on. We can put some shoulder pads on too, if we want to. Put some vampire wings and a helmet, for example. Look how it has changed. Let's get rid of the dress too. Let's put some military dress on. Here we have a bad character. I invite you to make your own characters, or just use these ones directly. Click on the right button of the mouse, save image as. Let's save it in the desktop. And from the desktop we can drag it to the global MDPI. Here we are. Let's go back to, let's create the sprite class, which we have here, which as we were talking before, is going to contain to implement all this we were talking about. New class, sprite. As always, it's a bit untidy. Okay. We said that everything referring to position and speed is going to be in this class. It's important to notice that in the constructor of our class we are going to put a pointer to the view. This when I build it. And the BMP which we're going to print. We have put the border, control logic. Here we have it in the update method. We are already trying to separate update from onDraw, even if the call to update is still onDraw. And apart from calculating the borders, as we're going to have our own onDraw, we're going to print the canvas. We're going to print the canvas. This makes us modify the view. Here in the view, the speed doesn't exist anymore. And here we should create a sprite field. New sprite. We're going to pass this, which is this window, and the BMP, which we have just created. Let's tell him to create a field. Here we have the field and all this code. It's not going to be here from now on. All this code is not going to be here from now on. All the calculation and the print isn't either. The only thing we're going to do is each time we're asked for, we're going to ask the sprite to print its own image. Okay, let's see if it works. Oops, I forgot to change the icon. But one was ours. We're going to repeat. Here we are. Okay, we have got this to the same point of the tutorial. Now what we're going to do is, instead of 12 images, it's going to be just one small one, and they're going to alternate. We're going to use this one. We're going to make this one appears first, then this one, and then this one. This is going to make a small animation. It's going to look as if it goes to the left, or even if it goes to the right. Well, that is going to be a lot more complicated. For this, we're going to modify the class sprite a little. In the constructor of the class sprites, we are going to add two new fields. They are int and we are also going to create two constants. Create constant, this one, and create another field. Let's tidy up. Okay. BMP columns is how many columns are we going to have. If we see the images, they have 3 column characters and 4 of rows. Then the width of our sprite is going to be the size of the BMP. The bitmap divided by the number of columns, 3, and the height is going to be the size of the bitmap divided by the number of rows, 4. We are going to need a small code for the management of the printing. We're going to use another printing method. Until now we have been using a method, this canvas.bitmap. We send him an integer, but apart from sending him an integer, we could send him rectangles. Here, as you can see, we have a rectangle source and rectangle destiny. This means that from the bitmap source I'm going to get a rectangle and I'm going to print it in another rectangle of the canvas. The screen, the surface where I'm going to keep it. Well, for this we're going to create 2 rectangles objects. Here we're going to write source, and here destiny. Ctrl+Shift+O for imports. The rectangle is going to be created with the position X, Y for the upper left corner, with the XY for the down right corner. We're going to make a field Y to use it in general. And we're going to initialize it with 0. We leave it here. With the other coordinate, which is X, we leave it prepared even if by now we're not going to use X. Current frame is going to be, we have been talking of creating an animation. This animation is going to have 3 images. If you remember, the current frame is the one we're going to show. First this one, and this one, and then we'll start again. This one. We're going to have a variable of the one showing. The variable is this one, a field. What we're going to do is to increment the field in the update method. We increment the field before including it, and we make him mode 3. The number of columns, this means that the first time it will be 0, then 1, 2, and when we get to 3 it will be 0 again. Each time it comes through here it will pass from 0 to 1 and 2, which are going to be the positions of the graphic. 0, 1 and 2. Okay, let's see if this was enough. Here is our character. Notice that it bounced back before getting to the border. It doesn't get to the border. Here we have a small mistake. In the cut condition, we are cutting inside the total length of the screen minus the width of the bitmap. But really, the length is the length of our sprite. We are just going to see the width variable. We write D. Let's try again. Here comes our guy. As you can see, it goes quicker because I have incremented the speed of 1 pixel by tick to 5 pixels by tick. And I also have improved the condition of the border. With the speed, we don't want it to pass through, so we have to consider the length of the screen, the width of the character, the width of the screen, but also the X speed. For this tutorial, I think time is out. See you in the next tutorial.